Thanks for joining us for another edition of Superhero Sitters, real pet sitting stories about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happy pets. My name is Joshua Carey. Now, as a pet owner, we understand you have plenty of options when it comes to the care of your pet when life calls you away. Many rely on friends, family, and neighbors to watch Fluffy and Fido, but please allow me to introduce you to another option, the professional pet sitter. The pet care industry has been active for a couple of decades now and is considered booming and one of the fastest growing industries by experts. In today's Superhero Sitter profile, I'm happy to be talking with Jan Brown of Jan's Pet Sitting in Foster City, California. Thank you, Jan, for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me, Josh.
How long have you yourself been a professional pet sitter?
I quit my day job about 12 and a half years ago, and before that I was doing it for about a year on a part-time basis.
Wow. And what were you doing in life right before you started pet sitting professionally?
I was working for a biotech company. I was doing administrative work.
Now, I know as pet sitters, we're often faced with challenges that others may simply take for granted, but more often than not, some of these challenges really require us to think quickly and rely on our professional training, skills, and knowledge. Tell me, please, about the time you were caring for a client's 2 dogs and walked in to a floor full of snail poison?
Yes, I had cared for this client's 2 dogs for many, many times, and I walked in one morning to take care of them and walked into the back room where they were, and there was part of a box of snail bait poisoning, or snail bait I should say, laying in the corner, and there was vomit and diarrhea all over the room.
Oh, no. And what did you do? What was your first reaction?
I think my very first reaction was just disbelief looking at the scene. And I knew I had to get these dogs to the vet immediately.
And what happened at the vet's office?
I took them into the vet, and the vet finally came out to talk to me. She said that there had been many pet sitters in the past who have called her office with emergencies of one type or another, and they've said, oh, I'm not bringing the dog or cat in.
They're not bringing it in?
Not bringing the animal in. When the vet office has said you need to bring the animal in.
Right. So there are people who will watch a family or friend's animal and not take that course of action, won't bring it into the vet.
Correct.
Wow. So how did your quick response play a pivotal and vital part in all of this?
Well, ultimately, if we had not gotten the dogs into the vet right away, the dogs would not have survived.
Literally?
Literally. In fact, the vets were shocked that the 2 dogs did survive, and they think that they only survived because of the dog's size. They were large dogs.
So if there's any lesson to be learned from all of this, what would it be?
Trust someone who has the skills to take care of your animal should any emergency arise.
And how does someone like you gain these skills?
I am a pet first aid and CPR instructor. I know of plenty of other pet sitters. While they may not be instructors, they have taken pet first aid and CPR. And I think that is the first step in knowing what to do if an emergency arises. It's also educating ourselves about things that can go wrong with the animals so that we are aware of, signs or symptoms.
Right, knowing whether a dog is lethargic because she's tired or there's a more pressing emergency at hand.
Exactly, or for example, noticing that the cat has not used the litter box.
You see, you say something like that, and someone untrained might not even realize that they need to keep an eye on that sort of a thing.
Correct.
Wow. Well, how did these two dogs turn out? I hope everything's A-okay?
It had a happy ending. The client had to fly home. She was out of the country, but they did survive, so it had a very happy ending.
How did the client react to your role in all of this?
She was very thankful. She sent me a note and she said, "You saved my dogs." Words couldn't express her gratitude.
And I'm sure it's moments like that that allow you to remember why you went into this profession in the first place.
Absolutely.
Well, that wraps everything up, Jan. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us today.
And thank you so much, Josh.
I appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of the day.
You too.